Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again, it's Matt here and we are going to take a look on this amazing aircraft that finally was added to China. And it's a well-known aircraft, doesn't change much from the American one, but it is the F-5E, the AIDC I think it's called, which is basically, I think it was built inside Taiwan, so it is pretty cool. But it is basically the same aircraft, it has the same engines, same missiles, same performance, same everything. I mean, I really wish it had at least some kind of, a new missile or at least 4 missiles. I think in real life this aircraft could carry 4 AIM-9s, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still one of the easier aircraft to get into top tier. To be honest, I think it's if you want an aircraft that you want to get into top tier and learn a little bit about raiders, but not too much. Learn about the missiles and but not too much. Get an F5 or a MiG-21. They are very, very easy to use. They are very maneuverable, very light, and yeah, the F5s are just. I mean, they were kind of OP for a while, and Jesus, I missed so many shots on that one because my friend was telling me that it was an F-14 was behind me, but I couldn't pay attention on my shots because there were something behind me. But still, so yeah, it is very light. It is basically only that. It's a light fighter made for dogfights, basically. So it can carry a lot of very good payloads for air to ground. So even Mavericks, it can carry 4 Mavericks plus the AIM-9s. Can carry the new BLU napalm bombs. It can carry the Mark 83s, 82s, so all sorts of bombs and some rockets as well. So it is a very well-around, very good, very interesting aircraft. And as a dogfighter, it is one of the best aircraft in top tier. It probably only loses for like a handful, maybe aircraft in the game. Maybe the J7 and maybe in some occasions, depending on the pilot, the MiG-23 MLD, and now maybe the F-14. But still a very, 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 very maneuverable aircraft. I don't have words to actually say how good this aircraft is, because back in the day when it was added for the US, it was really, really OP at first. Not really, really OP, but it was kind of OP. And yeah, it's just the way that it works. That's the thing about this game. Because of the large furballs and all the things that happens in this game, aircraft like the F5 or like the MiG-21, like the F-16 when it comes the MiG-29, like highly maneuverable aircraft with very good missiles and very good cannons, can be very, very deadly. And the F5 is one of the main examples of that. But yeah, like I said, it's basically the same aircraft. I really wish they add some kind of other missiles or some kind of difference. I mean, the nose is a little bit different because it uses the nose, if I'm not mistaken, from the F5G or the F20 or something like that. But yeah, it's basically just the model, nothing else beyond that. And yeah, it is, like I said, it's not the fastest aircraft in the game, but it doesn't have to be. Go Mach 1 and yeah, stay like that. You're not going to be. I would advise you guys not to fly high with this aircraft, of course. So it ended up being not that useful to use this more speed than that. The cannons are pretty good to use. They are the M39s, which are basically the evolution of the FTC cannon of the Sabre F2. And yeah, they are just the evolution of that. It's a revolver cannon, pretty good, pretty an okay amount of ammo. I think it's enough. As I showed on the last clip, I got an ace. I think it was my first match in this aircraft that I was testing out, and it's just an ace. It's just really, really easy to fly. He has the 2 AIM-9Js, which I'm not the biggest fan of AIM-9s in general. At least the J1 and the G is alright, I think, but the J is, I kind of don't like the range on it. But it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just compared to other missiles in the game, it can be kind of weird in dogfight, you know. I really enjoy missiles like the R60 or the MatAWG that can turn very quickly at the start of the burn time, so that you can actually use in a dogfight. And the AIM-9 is not that good in doing that compared to them, but still, two AIM-9s is always nice to have. You can get 1-2 kills every match in it with it. So yeah, and the other ones you have to just dogfight. And there's another thing that I want to talk about that was kind of a steal. I'm sorry about it. But yeah, one thing that I want to talk about, a weird thing that is happening, at least in these days of the early days of the patch. It is an 11.0 aircraft, and you get, I don't know if it's kind of a hard lock on that, but there's something wrong, something happening with the matchmaking. It's probably just because of the F-14s. There's so many F-14s and 11.3 aircraft that are flying around, that the 11.0s actually get a lot of down tiers. So if you have 11.0 aircraft that you want to fly, get out there and fly it, man. You get a lot of down tiers, like a lot of them. So you will eventually get a lot more kills, you know, and you end up being a little bit easier to grind these type of aircraft. So it is an 11.0, and most of the matches I wasn't fighting top tier. But even in top tier, I mean, I would say even especially in top tier 11.3 against 11.3s, these aircraft can be exceptional. Just because, you know, it is a dogfighter in a world that most of the aircraft right now are good at BVR. So you have the F4J, you have the Kai, you have the MLD, which is also a very good dogfighter, but in BVR is very good as well. The F14, which is, like I said, always good at dogfights, but it is very good at BVR, and you ended up using as a BVR machine. You know, so there's a lot of these BVR machines, you know, BVR aircraft. And you, in an F5, you are the opposite of that. You don't have any BVR, you don't have a lot of missiles, but you have a lot of maneuverability, and you have cannons, and you can kill everybody. And so yeah, the thing is that in a dogfight, an F5 is just, it's kind of like a very, you're in your comfortable zone, you know. You're just basically in easy mode of dogfights when you fly the F5. The tactics that I normally use with this is just to fly really low and just try to get as many people in a dogfight as possible, and just try to get the most amount of kills with that, you know. It's still one of the most one of the aircraft that you can have the most fun in flying. You know, it's easy to fly, very nimble, and just easy to use the cannons. I wasn't very used to the cannons, as you see, but I was getting used to it again, because it was a while since I've played with the F5. But yeah, it's amazing, man, and it's finally on the Chinese tree. I mean, this aircraft was data mined like I don't know, like 2 patches ago, and it's finally here. And I think it is the step in the right direction, because even though it's kind of a copy paste, I think China really could use the F5 together with the J8 and the J7 to be a very potent nation. Maybe in the future, as I said, we can get more missiles in the F5 to be a different F5 from the American, or even get the BR at a higher BR, 11.3, and get better missiles than the American F5, like the AIM-9 P4 that I think the Taiwanese used, or the P5, which would be a version of the P that we have, or the J, you know, that is all aspect, and that would be amazing to have. Or even an AIM-9L in the far future, you know. And it bridges the gap between the F-5A, of course, and the F-104s and stuff like that, to the next aircraft that will be added to the Taiwanese, probably, which will be, like I said, probably the F-16A, you know. I think it's the A variant that they used. So yeah, it's laying the ground for a 4th gen. And yeah, I really enjoy having it. The two Chinas having very potent aircraft, and yeah, in the future we can see more J8s and other aircraft like the J10, even maybe in the far future. And in the Taiwanese part of the three, we can have the F-16A and maybe even more advanced versions of this F-16. There is a version or some kind of thing there that they used that is domestic produced, FC1 or something like that. But yeah, there's so many good aircraft that can be here. And the Chinese three, I know it's kind of copy paste, but in top tier, and of course this is one more copy paste, but in top tier, I really enjoy it. You know, it has a new skin. It's different, and if you don't have the US, it's a very good way to fly the F5. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, be a member, click the little bell icon, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.